Hey, tonight we're diving into a different kind of ancient world, far removed from the legendary tales of pharaohs and gods, but closer to the ground, where the true story of the pyramids was etched not in stone, but in the sweat and toil of countless human beings, the workers who built these monumental structures, not as slaves, but as laborers, yet facing conditions that were, by any modern standard, absolutely awful. You might imagine the grandeur of these ancient wonders, but understanding the daily grind of those who built them reveals a harsh reality where survival was often a matter of pure luck and sheer endurance. If you're finding these journeys into history intriguing, I'd really appreciate a quick like or even a subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow and lets me share more of these untold stories with you. I'm always curious where all of you are listening from, so please drop a comment with your location and what time it is there right now. It's amazing to see our global community connecting through these shared historical explorations. Now, dim the lights, perhaps turn on a gentle fan for that soft, ambient hum, and ease into tonight's deep dive together as we explore why being a worker building the pyramids was a life of unimaginable hardship, a relentless struggle against exhaustion, injury, and the sheer scale of one of humanity's greatest achievements. Congratulations! You've just woken up in ancient Egypt, not as a pharaoh or a priest, but as a robust young person ready to contribute to the grandest construction project the world has ever seen, the building of a pyramid, a truly legendary chapter of history you are about to experience firsthand. The good news: you are part of something immortal, something that will stand for millennia. The bad news: your chances of comfort, health, and a long life just drop dramatically. The very first challenge hits you before you even open your eyes, before the sun has even thought about rising. It's the smell, not the sweet scent of desert flowers or the refreshing aroma of the Nile, but something far more pungent and pervasive. The acrid tang of thousands of unwashed bodies crammed into barracks, the earthy, musky scent of straw and damp earth, the sharp, metallic whiff of iron tools mixed with human exertion, and the ever-present, cloying odor of basic, communal sanitation facilities, a smell that clings to everything and becomes a part of you. Personal hygiene, as we know, it was a distant concept for the vast majority of these laborers. A quick rinse in a communal trough, if water was abundant, might be a weekly luxury, but often, the priority for water was drinking and mixing mortar, not bathing. As you drag yourself from your makeshift bed, which is likely just a straw mat on a hard-packed earth floor, you realize how every muscle in your body aches, a dull, persistent throb that has become your constant companion. Life as a pyramid worker, from before dawn until long after dusk, involved absolutely relentless physical labor, day in and day out. There were no weekends off, no holidays, no sick days, and certainly no thought given to ergonomic design or worker well-being. Whether you were quarrying stone, hauling massive blocks, or smoothing the final casing stones, your body was your primary, indeed your only, tool, used until it literally broke down. You might think you work hard in your modern life, but the labor of the pyramid builders was something entirely different. Backbreaking, bone-grinding work that left even the strongest individuals permanently hunched, scarred, and arthritic by their late 20s or early 30s. Imagine spending 10 to 14 hours every single day under the merciless Egyptian sun, chiseling at stubborn rock, dragging immense loads over uneven terrain, or straining to hoist multi-ton blocks up a towering ramp. It's no wonder that the average life expectancy for a common laborer in ancient Egypt was far, far shorter than what we consider normal today, with many not reaching old age. As the first sliver of light kissed the eastern horizon, a harsh horn or foreman's shout jolted you awake from fitful sleep in the sprawling workers' village. Your body, a symphony of aches from yesterday's brutal exertions, screamed, but no time for lingering. Each day began with relentless urgency. Your breakfast, a meager affair, hard, gritty, unleavened bread, perhaps onions or dried dates. Water, often murky and warm from its Nile journey, a lifeline but potential illness carrier. No hot coffee, no nourishing porridge, just enough fuel to prevent collapse, minimal energy for maximum output. The barracks air was thick with centuries of dust, lingering scent of unwashed humanity, a claustrophobic blend seeping into your skin. You ate quickly, hunched among hundreds. Only sounds the rustle of cloth, muted chewing, an occasional cough, personal space unknown. You lived shoulder to shoulder, a human ant colony. Privacy was non-existent, noise constant, sleep broken by movements, insects, vermin. Any wound was potential infection, turning a simple cut life-threatening. As medical knowledge was rudimentary, sanitation nearly absent. You were a small cog in an enormous grinding machine. Your comfort irrelevant. You rose stiffly, joining the silent, shuffling stream heading towards the vast monument, a journey defining your day and shortening your life. Your first destination was often the quarries, vast, sun-baked pits where the earth was carved. Imagine standing on a colossal excavation's edge, dust dancing in harsh sunlight, air vibrating with rhythmic clang of copper chisels against limestone and granite, a sound penetrating your bones. Tools were primitive, copper chisels blunted quickly, requiring constant resharpening, wooden mallets splintering, and dolerite pounders, heavy stones to pulverize harder rock, a task reducing laborers to trembling, sweat-drenched husks. Your job might be to drive chisels into the rock face, painstakingly carving channels around a block. This was slow, deliberate, incredibly laborious, chipping millimeter by millimeter, often for days on a single block. The dust, oh, the dust! It hung heavy, a gritty shroud coating everything, filling your lungs, settling in your eyes, causing irritation, mixing with sweat to form a grime no scrubbing could remove. Every breath was a gamble. Fine particles slowly eroded your respiratory system, laying groundwork for a lifetime of coughing, wheezing, and a painful, premature end. Sun's glare reflecting off pale stone was blinding, causing aching, watering eyes. Heat radiating from rock was oppressive, sucking moisture from your body. As channels deepened, you might insert wooden wedges. These wedges, soaked, would slowly expand, until, with a groan, the massive block cracked free. This moment, satisfying yet incredibly dangerous. A miscalculation, a sudden shift, a splintered wedge could send hundreds of tons tumbling, crushing anything in its path. No safety equipment existed. Falling rock, slipping chisel, quarry wall collapsed daily occurrences, leading to fractured limbs, crushed hands, lost eyes, immediate death. Survivors were often debilitatingly injured, permanently maimed, unable to work, ending their short, brutal careers. Constant bending, lifting, striking took an incredible toll on your back, knees, shoulders, muscles strained to breaking point, joints grinding from repetitive stress. Vibrations from pounding tools left hands numb, tingling, precursor to chronic pain and arthritis. The work was pure, unadulterated stamina, a test of how much your body could endure. Once freed, the block had to be roughly shaped, edges smoothed, dimensions checked, all by hand under the same relentless sun and dust. This was a symphony of human endurance, achieved at an unspeakably high cost to every individual, a silent sacrifice embedded in every stone. Once a monumental block was quarried and shaped, the truly backbreaking and most hazardous phase began. Transportation. Imagine moving a colossal stone weighing many tons equivalent to several modern cars across rough desert terrain, sometimes for miles, without wheels, engines, or strong draft animals. Primary method involved enormous wooden sledges, heavy platforms upon which blocks were levered and secured. The effort to load one stone onto a sledge was staggering. Hundreds of men, using thick papyrus or flax ropes, would haul the sledge across specially prepared paths, or, more often, unforgiving ground. These paths were cleared tracks, perhaps with wet clay or wooden rollers. Here, the sheer force of countless individuals came into terrifying play. You would be one of many, grasping a thick, abrasive rope, digging your feet into shifting sand or mud, leaning into immense weight, straining every muscle in synchronized effort. Air filled with grunts of exertion, shouts of overseers, rhythmic chants of foremen, a desperate rhythm against stone's inertia. Each step was monumental effort, feet sinking, shoulders burning, hands raw and blistered from rope friction. Dust kicked up by thousands of shuffling feet and dragging sledges formed an impenetrable cloud, clogging your lungs. Dehydration was an ever-present danger, scorching sun-baking moisture from your body. Water, precious and rationed, never enough. Heat stroke was common, often fatal. Bodies pushed beyond limits simply shut down. People collapsed, some reviving, more often succumbing. A single misstep, loss of balance or sudden snag, could send sledge careening, dragging anyone beneath its crushing weight, turning flesh and bone into pulp. Ropes themselves were a hazard, snapping under strain, lashing out with deadly force, leaving gashes or breaking bones. Imagine thousands of men, day after day, week after week, dragging these colossal stones across the desert, their lives literally hanging by a rope. The path to the pyramid was an open graveyard of discarded implements, broken dreams, and human lives. For largest blocks, especially those for higher courses, journey was more perilous, often transported across the Nile on barges. At the pyramid site, challenge shifted from horizontal to vertical. Enormous ramps, compacted rubble, and mud brick spiraled around the growing structure, the only way to elevate blocks. Again, brute human force. Sledges pulled up ramps, incline steepening with every course. This meant greater strain, more frequent collapses, more desperate gasps for air. The sheer scale is almost impossible to comprehend. Millions of blocks, each a testament to untold human suffering, painstakingly dragged and heaved into place. Ground around, base slick with sweat, blood. Air vibrated not just with shouts, but cries of injured, groans of dying, dull thud of stone against stone. This wasn't just construction. It was a war waged against gravity, won only through relentless human lives and suffering. Having endured the brutal journey from the quarry, blocks arrived at the pyramid base or along ramps. Transportation was only half the battle. Now came the precise, equally dangerous task of lifting and maneuvering stones into exact positions. This relied on ingenuity and human power, employing levers, ramps, and wooden rollers. As pyramid grew taller, ramps became steeper and longer, stretching for miles in winding, ascending path. When block reached its level, work shifted from hauling to delicate, powerful dance of leverage. You were one of many, prying and pushing with thick wooden levers to inch stone forward, millimeter by millimeter. Air thick with groans of wood, creak of ropes, grunts of human effort, punctuated by sharp commands. Precision was paramount. Each block had to fit perfectly, no gaps to compromise integrity. Constant adjustments, nudging, pulling, shifting until it settled. Imagine thousands of men working simultaneously on different levels, contributing to this colossal jigsaw. Each effort crucial. Risks amplified by height. Slipping foot on steep ramp, loss of grip, frayed rope could send multi-ton block tumbling, crushing anything in path. Screams, quickly swallowed by construction noise, grim reminder of danger. No harnesses, no safety railings, no modern machinery. Gravity was silent, omnipresent executioner. Hands, already calloused, bled anew from splinters, friction burns. Backs bowed, further strained by heavy lifting, awkward postures. Physical toll cumulative, each day adding wear and tear, an ache never subsiding. For upper courses in capstone, specialized, dangerous techniques pushed limits of engineering and endurance. Final act of placing capstone, triumph for Pharaoh, culmination of countless lives sacrificed, muscles torn, bodies broken. Even after structure stood tall, work wasn't finished. Casing stones, outer layer, meticulously fitted and polished, delicate yet physically demanding, often at dangerous heights. Every stone held invisible imprint of human struggle, a silent testament to unimaginable effort and suffering. Life on the pyramid construction site was a constant, brutal dance with danger, a relentless assault on the human body. Every swing of a tool, pull of a rope, step on uneven ground carried risk of debilitating injury or swift, agonizing death. Accidents were pervasive, almost expected. Most devastating injuries stemmed from sheer weight and unforgiving nature of stone. Fingers crushed, bones shattered, limbs severed by snapping ropes. A worker might slip on a muddy ramp, plunging into chaotic machinery, instantly trampled or crushed. Simple chiseling, if tool glanced or stone fractured, could send shard flying into an eye, blinding a man. Dust, ever-present and insidious, wasn't just an irritant. Fine particles systematically destroyed lungs over time, leading to chronic coughs, shortness of breath, a slow, suffocating death. The sun, a merciless executioner. Scorching Egyptian heat, amplified by reflection, led to widespread heat stroke. Men would simply drop, minds clouded, bodies shutting down. Some recovered, many succumbed. Dehydration was rampant, despite water provision. Sweat volume far outstripped meager rations, leaving workers perpetually thirsty, susceptible to cramps, dizziness, organ failure. Beyond trauma, disease stalked camps. Cramped living, poor sanitation, contaminated water-bred epidemics. Dysentery ravaged population, rapid dehydration and death. Parasites, from intestinal worms to bilharzia, slowly sapped strength, leaving workers weak, anemic, vulnerable. Open wounds almost inevitably festered, quickly infected, leading to sepsis, causing fever, chills, delirium, death. No antibiotics, antiseptics, or germ theory. Simple scrape could be death sentence. Fractures, even non-fatal ones, often healed poorly, leaving workers permanently crippled, their working days over, future grim. A broken leg meant lifetime hobbling, unable to contribute. Dental problems universal, agonizing. Without hygiene, treatment, teeth decayed, abscessed, fell out, making eating painful, contributing to malnutrition. Insect bites, snake bites, scorpion stings, common threats, many venomous, leading to severe illness or death with no effective antivenom. Every dawn was a new roll of the dice, odds perpetually stacked against well-being. A stark reality where survival was less about skill and more about sheer luck and body endurance, a daily testament to high human cost embedded in every stone. The workers' village, the sprawling, temporary settlement, was another layer of misery. Thousands of men, and sometimes families, crammed into barracks-like structures, each sleeping space a straw mat on hard-packed earth, privacy non-existent. Air inside dormitories perpetually stale, thick with smell of unwashed bodies, sweat, damp earth, claustrophobic. Ventilation minimal, contributing to spread of airborne illnesses sweeping through quarters. Food, while preventing starvation, was monotonous, basic, coarse, gritty, unleavened bread, supplemented by onions, garlic, dried dates, occasionally dried fish. Meat rare luxury. Diet lacked crucial vitamins, leading to deficiencies, weakness, increased susceptibility to disease. Water, from Nile or wells, a precious commodity, often rationed, rarely clean. Stored in jars, exposed. A breeding ground for bacteria and parasites. Communal consumption spread waterborne illnesses like dysentery, rapidly dehydrating and killing. Sanitation primitive. Open pits served as latrines, often too close to living quarters or water, exacerbating disease. Waste management rudimentary, constant human and animal waste, combined with hot, dusty environment, ideal for flies and disease-carrying insects. Vermin rats, mice, lice, fleas, bedbugs ubiquitous, gnawing at food, spreading disease, disturbing sleep with itching, clothing, simple linen kilts, coarse, Little protection against elements or stone. Quickly stiff with sweat, dust, grime, adding discomfort, contributing to skin irritations. No modern day off. Work dawn till dusk, 6 days a week. Only religious holidays or extreme weather offering reprieve, often for repairing tools or essential tasks. Psychological toll immense. Constant noise, lack of privacy, unending hard labor, pervasive dirt, disease, ever-present threat of injury. Death created unrelenting stress. Little recreation or mental escape, save for simple games or storytelling after dark. Absence of intellectual stimulation, education, physical exhaustion meant life reduced to basic, grueling elements. Spirit, like body, slowly eroded by relentless grind, leaving a hollowed-out shell capable only of enduring. Pyramids stand as monumental achievement, but also silent testament to unimaginable psychological fortitude or complete crushing of it, of thousands whose lives were consumed in their creation, identities subsumed by relentless, monotonous, soul-destroying task of building a god-king's eternal home. If injury occurred or illness struck, support for a pyramid worker was shockingly rudimentary. While ancient Egyptian medicine had some surgical advancements, its application on a mass construction site was severely limited. No sterile operating room or trained nurses. A simple, makeshift clinic, perhaps a tent, was the extent of facilities. A physician, often a traditional healer, did his best with basic bandages, herbal concoctions for pain or infection, some effective, many not, and rudimentary bone setting. For major injuries, crushed limb, severe internal injury, deep festering wound prognosis was grim. Amputation, if attempted, was fraught with infection and shock, often leading to death. No effective pain relievers beyond mild herbal sedatives, so agonizing pain was constant. Infections were silent, ubiquitous killers. A small cut, splinter, or rope burn could quickly turn septic in unhygienic conditions, leading to fever, chills, delirium, death. Without antibiotics, body's defenses often overwhelmed. Chronic pain was universal. Constant strain on muscles, ligaments, joints from hauling stones, hammering rock. Awkward postures meant backs ached perpetually, knees throbbed, shoulders screamed. Headaches from dehydration and sun were common. Digestive issues from poor diet. Contaminated water caused constant abdominal discomfort. Every morning, you woke not refreshed, but with renewed awareness of dull throb in lower back, stiffness in neck, persistent ache in knees. This pain was a fundamental aspect of existence, physical manifestation of relentless wear and tear. You learned to ignore it, push through it, accept it as price of survival. It was always there. A constant reminder of physical cost. For those too injured to work, future was bleak. No social safety net, disability, retirement. Worker rendered incapable was often cast aside, left to rely on charity or slowly starve. Pyramid builders were not just building a tomb. They were building their own physical demise, stone by agonizing stone, bodies slowly crumbling under weight of an impossible dream. Beyond the brutal physical toll, the psychological impact was equally crushing. Imagine living a life utterly devoid of variety, freedom, or hope. Each day mirrored the last with horrifying precision. Wake before dawn, meager meal, hours of backbreaking labor, under sun. Return to crowded barracks. Another meager meal, exhausted sleep. Repeat. This relentless monotony stripped away any sense of individual purpose or joy. You were an anonymous cog in a colossal machine, contributing to a distant pharaoh's glory. The project's sheer scale was psychologically overwhelming. Pyramid grew infinitesimally slow, each block adding minuscule increment. An unending task, a Sisyphean struggle where finish line always impossibly distant, perhaps beyond your lifetime. Lack of visible progress, combined with endless repetition, led to profound hopelessness. Your existence reduced to primal struggle for survival. No room for aspirations, creativity, or simple pleasures. Constant noise of construction site mallets, shouts, groans, ropes' perpetual assault on senses, no space for quiet reflection. Little genuine human connection beyond shared misery, often overshadowed by exhaustion. Absence of intellectual stimulation, education, physical exhaustion meant life reduced to most basic, grueling elements. Your spirit, like your body, slowly eroded by relentless grind, leaving a hollowed-out shell capable only of enduring. Pyramids stand as monumental achievement, but also silent testament to unimaginable psychological fortitude, or crushing of it, of thousands whose lives were consumed in their creation, identities subsumed by relentless, monotonous, soul-destroying task of building a god-king's eternal home. So, the life of a worker building the ancient Egyptian pyramids was a harrowing existence. Relentless physical demands, constant danger, pervasive disease, and profound psychological strain. Every waking moment was a battle against exhaustion, thirst, hunger, and pain. You were literally breaking your body, day by day, for a monument that would outlive you. A silent giant built from anonymous, brutal sacrifice. The pyramids, magnificent, are colossal memorials to human suffering, a testament to astonishing human endurance.